lukewarm Christians are one of the most productive, successful, powerful tools in the hand of Satan.
That's kind of a scary deal. I mean, you're going to say you love Christ, but then act as though you don't the next day. Accept him and then act as though you reject him. That's kind of a scary situation, and to me that's very alarming.
And in the society and culture, it's almost talked about it's better to at least acknowledge God than to not acknowledge him at all and be a lukewarm Christian, so to speak.
Yeah.
When did this all really start and become just okay?
Would your generation have an effect on your temperature, whether being hot or cold or lukewarm?
I think it probably is, or it seems to be. Culture and generational things do speak to us because it's our surroundings. Now, the Bible speaks about it this way. It says, the spirit of this present age. Now, when it was writing about that, that's the culture of the day.
Yeah.
There is a spirit, feeling, movement of generations. When we hit the late 90s, we were at the peak of the teaching movement. Many of the teachers and the preachers their character didn't sustain them in the anointing that God gave them.
In this passage, it says, I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. What is Jesus meaning by saying cold?
Cold is the opposite of hot, obviously, but What is hot? Hot infers fervency. So when he's talking about being hot, he means being this. Now, the opposite of being hot would be cold. Cold is indifferent concerning things, resistant, rejectful.
You decided to not be in the middle, but rather hop it to cold and then hop it to hot. Cold and hot, and you just kept doing that. Would you be safe doing that?
Oh, you'd never be safe doing that. That's playing Russian roulette because you never know when your life will end.
Yeah.
And if you happen to be on the cold side when it ends, then that's bad.
When you look at it, it sounds like hot means, on fire, living the best you can, and cold meaning just dead corpse on the ground. Reading it almost sounds like being lukewarm would be better than being absolutely cold and dead.
Would you say that choosing to be cold rather than being undecisive and sitting on the fence, would that be better than sitting on the fence to choose cold?
Absolutely.
Here in America, we're, one nation under God. This is God's country, it's on our currency. Do you think that's kind of, in a way, hurting our mentality of it and kind of making us feel a bit entitled that, hey, we're here, we know God, there's nothing more we have to do, we're the glorious folks, so to speak, this is it?
Maybe in generations prior to us.
Okay.
Because there was American exceptionalism, there was almost like this pride in America and things,
Yeah.
That's being challenged now. Not to say that there's not, because I still feel that way. So we have that as a structure, but this generation that we're in now and the people who are coming up in the generations behind us are born into America not knowing, many of them not knowing the cost of America.
I feel like the last big wave we saw of Christian movement in this country, the World Trade Center fall, I feel like that was the last major movement we had, and it didn't last long, but it was a catastrophe moment. We thought we were going into World War III.
The houses of God filled up with people mainly out of fear. One thing that I've said for many years is whatever it takes to draw a person to God is what it takes to keep a person with God.
Yeah.
If it's fear that draws a person to God, then you're hearing hell, fire, and brimstone. And that causes a person to turn to God. Say, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hell. If that's what it took to get you, that's what it's going to take to keep you. There's a lot of lukewarm Christians.
Yes, there
a lot.
Is my name going to be erased from the book of life? Is God going to vomit me out of his mouth? Will you go to hell if you are lukewarm?